Warning: the following contains explicit language and subject matter that may not be suitable for younger listeners, church folk, and people who enjoy kale smoothies.
Okay. Yeah. Welcome back to A Pod Amongst Men. I'm your host, Steve B. This is Coffee Break Conversations for the 21st Century, although today you might notice that this is not a coffee break conversation for the 21st century. This is a monologue, I guess. Doing another solo episode. Had a couple scheduling issues, and I wanted to do something on here. I wanted to put something out this week, and I didn't want to give you garbage. I didn't want to just put something out for the sake of putting it out. So me and the lovely Betty, we had a conversation, and she actually had a good idea. We found this article, and it was questions for men from women. And I thought, hey, this could be a good, fun little segment to do on the show. So I found this article in Metro. I don't know if that's a site, a magazine, or whatever, but I found it. It's an article, and it exists. So some of these questions were actually pretty good. I'm gonna read you the first part of it here, okay? So it says, there are some things about men that we just do not understand. Men are way more complex than women. First off, I disagree, but okay. With their weird bathroom etiquette. I gotta move the phone. With their weird bathroom etiquette, their strange obsession with football, not everybody, and sensitivity around their perfect beards and man buns. Okay, so I have to ask first, what kind of men you're hanging around with that would lead you to say something like this? Anyway, so obviously we have a whole host of questions that we've always wanted to ask, like what it feels like to be able to pee standing up, and if they sit around comparing penis sizes, or if they've had to fake an orgasm. So, some of these questions I think are a little more on the silly side, and some are probably a little more serious, maybe hidden within jokes. I had to take a little sip there, a little nectar. But I figured, why the fuck not? Who better than me? You know, I'm some unqualified jerk off on the internet. I'll answer all these questions for all of womankind out there, and you guys can, you know, respond accordingly. I'll be prepared for the Twitter mobs. So question number 1, peeing standing up. Unfortunately, we don't have the option of sitting. We don't have the option of sitting and standing. We're forced to sit to avoid causing a mess. What does this feel like to pee standing up? Does it get splashy? Does it make your legs hurt? All right, that's kind of a silly question. What does it feel like to stand up? Okay, that's it. Splashy? It can get splashy. It has gotten splashy on occasion. It depends on maybe how tall you are, the height. The pee has to travel to the toilet water. It could probably have a lot to do with it. I'm not a scientist. I don't know about, you know, the terminal velocity of the urine hitting the solid standing body of water. You might want to ask Neil deGrasse Tyson a little more about that, but it's not a big ordeal. You know, we're used to it. We've done it our whole lives, so we don't. A lot of times we're probably not even present. We're miles away in our heads as we're peeing, so we're not even thinking about it. Do our legs hurt? Come on, what the fuck is that? No, our legs don't hurt. What does it feel like? It feels the same thing like peeing, just at the same time standing up. It's not any amazing sensation. So we're going to move on. 2, why do you leave the seat up? Do you never hear us all the times we've asked for you to put it down? Is it because you secretly want people to fall down the toilet? Maybe. Secretly, I'm sure there's no shortage of trolls out there who, you know, would love to rush in to make an Instagram video of their wife with a wet ass falling on the toilet. But no, I mean, listen, it's why do we do it? Why do you leave our razor in the shower when you've taken it out of, you know, the drawer? Because we forget. It happens. Okay, it's not. We don't hate you. We're not trying to make your day worse. It's just we forget. You know, especially if you're a guy and you've lived alone for any period of time, or you've lived with other guys. It's like we don't Like, we don't think about that. We leave the seat up. A lot of times we don't have to. But when we have to put it down too, and we walk in and we say, okay, let's put the seat down. I have to take a shit. That's not like, how come we're not the ones complaining? You know what I mean? You never hear a man complain, oh, why didn't you put the seat down? Because we actually check. I don't know why you wouldn't check, especially if you have a man in the house. It's your fault, women. You guys should be held responsible. I'm kidding. But yeah, no, it's not malicious most of the time, but I can't speak for everybody. All right. Question number 3. Have you been catcalled? Have you ever been walking somewhere, minding your own business, humming a little tune, to have it ruined by somebody of the opposite sex shouting something sexually aggressive at you? Because it's commonplace for that to happen to women. I know it happens to women. Have I been catcalled? I have been catcalled, but it hasn't been by the opposite sex. It was actually the same weekend I met my wife in New Orleans. Funny story. Me and I think it was Drew. You guys know Drew K from the show. We were walking down Bourbon Street. Everybody got their beads, whatever. It wasn't even Mardi Gras, mind you, but it was like a Saturday night, I believe. And we're walking. I'm getting down the end, like further away from like the main street. But all of a sudden, I didn't just get hit in the face with beads. I was pelted. I don't know what the word is. I was almost pierced by it. Like it almost went through me. They threw these beads so hard at my face. Not like at my feet or like at my chest, in my forehead. They threw this at me. I said, "What the fuck was that?" And I'm looking around and I realize there's people throwing beads from the balcony. And I'm like, why'd the guy just throw beads at me? And all of a sudden, within like the span of 1 second, all these things happen. I realized why. And then there was a bouncer at this hotel or whatever it was, and he said, "He thinks you're gorgeous." And he said it so like, come on, dopey, you don't know why? And I was just like, So I guess that really wasn't catcalled, but that was the next best thing, closest thing. I wouldn't say next best thing. It did hurt. That shit hurt, man. Those beads, they can hurt. Okay, next question. This is a dumb one, but I mean, the fact that this has to be asked leads me to believe that maybe there's some offenders for this one. How often do you change your underwear? Do you actually stick to the daily rule, or do you make it last 2 days by turning it inside out? Actually, do you actually even wear underwear, or do you go commando? So, if you wear underwear, you goddamn better be changing it every day, because if not, you're a nasty motherfucker. And I would never condone that. Yeah, I change my underwear every single day. Every single day. I don't know what is this. Are people doing this? Are we not changing our underwear? I mean, ladies, are you guys not doing it? Is that why you're asking us? Oh, we can't be the only ones. It has to be somebody else. Well, I change my underwear every day. I got a lot of nice, cool underwear. They're very comfortable. I like to go through the whole collection. I make it through. It lasts over a week. I don't know why that is relevant, but yeah, we change our underwear every day. It's not weird. Like, men are pretty... Okay, we don't always have the best hygiene, but I like to think we're getting better. Maybe I'm just giving us too much credit. I might be giving us too much credit. So we're going to move on from that one. And now, this is a big one. Number 5. This is a big one. Why do you take so long in the bathroom? Considering your peeing procedure doesn't involve sitting, why do you still take so long in the bathroom? Especially when you go for a poo. Why does it take you forever? Well, ladies, I hate to break it to you, but a lot of times, I don't know if you're married, if you have kids, you have a long day at work, that time in the bathroom when we're doing our due diligence, so to speak, that's my me time. You know what I mean? That's my time to be alone with my thoughts, to, whether I'm reading the news or I'm, going through my Instagram feed, that's my time for me. And generally I know the smell is going to keep away any prying eyes or anybody trying to, find out what's going on in there, unless you're a kid, in which case it doesn't really matter. They're going to try to get in anyway. But, that's our little fortress of solitude, a little temporary fortress of solitude. We go in there, we poo, and it's just all of a sudden we have stillness, we have calm. That's why we take forever. We enjoy that. And it's not because we don't love you. It's not because we don't want to be around you. But I don't know. For me personally, I work at a job where it's this constant noise all day long. I work in construction. I hear the machines running. I hear guys yelling. There's some asshole, smoking weed all day, and I can't find where he is. All I know is that I can smell it constantly. I'm not knocking any of my potheads out there, but, give it a fucking rest sometime. I love being home. That's my time for me. I'm not on the clock. I don't have to worry about anything. Let me just collect myself. Let me calm down from the day. Let me gather my thoughts. That's my me time. That's why we take so long. Some guys can shit in record time. I'm not one of them. I know some of them, though. We're in there because we enjoy the silence. Nobody asking us questions. Nobody giving us a hard time. Yeah, but like I said, it's not that we don't love you. It's not that we don't want to be around you, but we need that time. We need a little bit of time for ourselves, okay? Just like everybody does. There's no reason we should feel guilty about that. I think everybody deserves that. Not just men. Women deserve that too. Everybody deserves it. Okay. Number 6. What do you talk about with your best friends? Do you actually open up in front of them, or is the focus solely on the need for banter? Well, that's not really going to be a one-size-fits-all thing. That's, everybody's different. My best friend, we talk about everything. We could go on, I could go on a 1-hour fucking diatribe about why Marvel Comics is better than DC, or we could sit there and legitimately talk about how, we think our parents fucked us up in whatever way. It could be anything. That's the relationship you have with your friend. Everybody's relationship is tailored to, the people involved. And yeah, it just depends. Some guys only talk about, trying to get pussy and, whatever fucking game was on last night. It depends. Everybody's different. So there's no one answer for everything. Okay. And at sleepovers. When you stop over at a friend's place, what do you actually do? Do you watch movies, drink beer, or do face masks? Yes. No, not the last one. We don't do face masks unless it's Halloween, in which case some face masks have been done. But yeah, we do all that. We sit around, watch TV, watch a movie, drink beer, whatever. If you smoke, you do that, whatever. You hang out. Sometimes you don't even do any of those things. You just chill and talk. That's what guys do. Watch a game, anything. Why? I don't know why that's even a question. What the hell do girls do? You do any number of things. Why is that so weird? That's a stupid question. Sorry. And do you discuss penis size in depth? Women talk about boobs a lot. We compare sizes, nipples, and even firmness. Do you talk about penis lengths, girth, manscaping styles? In my experience, we do not discuss the loaf too often. The manscaping has been a subject of conversation from time to time, but that's more about just techniques and, I do this, I trim it this way, or I shave everything off so it looks like my crotch is caught in a garbage fire. It doesn't matter, But the penis size, like all the fine details about the anatomical, little bits of information about the penis, I've never been in one of those conversations. I think that's a little weird, and I think that a lot of men's subconscious homophobia would prevent them from talking about stuff like that. Women are much more comfortable with their, with the like quasi bi-curious nature that I think all women have deep down. But a lot of men would never do that. You're talking, "Oh, fucking gay, bro. Fucking gay. Why are you talking about your dick, bro? I don't want to see your fucking dick." But then I always hear about guys that have seen each other's dicks, and I not me. I don't know. But no, we don't want to talk about that. Why do you need to know? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. What is the obsession with football about? I am not the guy to answer that one because I don't watch any sports. I watch boxing. That's about it. Do you fake orgasms? Kind of hard to do. Unless you're not into the pull-out method. It's kind of hard. If you gotta fake it, like, the night's already ruined. You might as well just, like, say, I'm tired. I gotta stop. Don't fake an orgasm. What are you, a jerk off? Come on. Do you fake an orgasm? Like, what? I don't. If a woman admitted that she did that to me, I would lose a little respect. I'm not gonna lie, but it's a different situation. So I guess that's not fair to say. Like, generally in most sexual encounters, when the man stops, it's over. So, like, I get a woman faking. That actually makes perfect sense. But no, I've never faked one. I don't think I know anybody that does. I don't recall any conversations about that, and I don't think it's really that common. I think that's it's not mostly a myth, but it's very rare, very rare. Okay, the obsession with boobs. You've been giving us boobs since birth. What the fuck do you expect? End of answer right there. They are two big lumps. What do you think they are? The best thing since the internet? Come on. Think about that before you ask these questions. Number 12, cracking a cold one with the lads. Clearly this was written in England. Shout out to Eldridge Cook. But you could tell by some of the terminology. Where did this exquisite little phrase come from? And why do we have to hear it several times every day? If you have to hear that several times every day, then I feel very sorry for you because you're hanging out with fucking idiots and assholes. Because normal people don't constantly say that. Those are guys who probably watch too much Barstool. I could get being annoyed with that. I would be really annoyed if I had to hear that every day. But no, we like to drink beer. We like to enjoy it with friends and feel at ease and comfortable and feel like we could be ourselves and let our guard down. Even though technically most men never really let the guard down. You know what I mean? Even when they're around their friends. Oh, excuse me. Always have to, maintain that outward display of strength and what's the word I'm looking for? You know what I'm looking for. Stoicism. You have to be stoic. You got to be still, strong, quiet. Well, that's not true. Not everybody. Forget. This is good sangria. Oh yeah. By the way, it's not coffee. Okay. Next one. Why drink a pint out of a shoe? I would not, unless it's like Das Boot. That's okay. You're not drinking out of a shoe. It's a glass. But if you're drinking something out of a shoe, is this what you guys do in the UK? Like, come on. What is this? Oh, that's the whole list. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Part two. We finished all those questions. Seemed a little short. We're going to get into some more questions. I found some more in this nice BuzzFeed article. Here we go. Do you shiver when you pee in the morning? Is that a thing? That is generally a thing that happens every time we pee. I know myself, that little shiver, that's how we get the last little few drops out. You know what I mean? That's how we know we're done. Once you feel that shiver, you've completed the peeing process. That is a real thing. Okay. What's the deal with drawing dicks all over everything? Well, this is an affliction that thankfully does not affect all men. Myself being one of the lucky few that have not been afflicted. But even I don't get that one. I don't understand the idea of drawing dicks everywhere. And I work in construction, and there is never, I repeat, never a shortage of illustrated dicks on a job site at any given point in time. I worked at one building in Jersey City, and they were trying to, of course, dicks all over, dicks galore. And they had a thing called the topping out party, which is when they finish building the last floor. So the building is essentially, topped out. That's the highest point. And they have a party where they have all, all the construction workers can come eat and, they have food and everything. And they have some of the investors and people who work for the contractor and, all the big wigs and suits come in and stuff like that. So they knew that we're having this party and they had to go through the job and they were trying to, scratch off or paint over any of the dicks. And it was still, it was all concrete. It's not like it's a finished building. So they spent 2 days just getting rid of the dicks, trying to erase all the dicks. So finally, it's the day of the party. We take the hoist up to the floor where the party is. And wouldn't you know, right outside the hoist, your first step into the building, someone spray painted a gigantic green dick. That, they waited till after all the cleaning was done, and they had to get that dick in there, It's kind of funny. But I just don't understand the obsession. It's like some guys always have to grab their dick, It's just like, you can't help it. It's compulsive. But that's, I guess, what that, I don't know. Ask Jonah Hill, Maybe he has a better idea. Maybe he has a little more insight into this. All right, next question. Are all your exes really crazy? Well, my guess is if you have a list of exes that you say you're crazy, there's more than one person on that list, maybe it's something you're doing. That's just my suspicion. When a guy tells me, oh, my ex, oh, what a bitch, oh, this and that, and he starts saying all this stuff about exes, and I realize there's not just one, there's more than one. But even like when a guy is just bad-mouthing an ex, I have to stop and tell myself, like, there's two sides to this story. And I'm pretty sure he's not going to tell me all the fucked up stuff he probably did as well. Now, I'm not saying that excuses, bad behavior and, on the woman's side, but, when somebody tells you so-and-so is all fucked up, usually they're going to leave out the incriminating parts involving themselves. So that's my take on that. It's like, they're probably not all that crazy. Maybe he has one. Maybe he has two. But if you're saying he has three or more, I'm a little reluctant to believe that. So that's about. Why do you put your dicks inside random objects? I don't. I don't recall doing that. If you're watching a movie, maybe, but I don't recall putting my dick inside random stuff. Maybe I haven't been that lonely. I don't know. But that's not one that I've had to deal with much. So, does it actually feel good? I wouldn't know. All right. Have you ever been... Do circle jerks really happen? Like, just hanging out, platonically masturbating with your bros? Not in my life. Not that I've ever heard of. But, it's... Somebody's done it. Somebody has to have done it. I'm sure it does, but not that I know of. So that's not one I think we really need to go, write in the newspaper about. Are all you straight guys really not even a little bi? Well, let's see. I think Ron White said it the best. He said everybody's a little gay, just a little bit. And he's telling the story about it. He had a friend, and he said the same thing. He said, I think everybody's just a little bit gay. Oh, fuck that, man. I ain't gay. I'm fucking straight. He's like, okay, let me ask you this. Do you like porn? Hell yeah, man. I love porn. He's like, do you watch only lesbian porn? Only girl on girl? No, I like to see a man and a woman making love. And he says, okay, well, when you watch those porno videos, do you like the man to have a tiny, small, half-flaccid penis? He's like, no, man. I like to see big, strong, raging hot. There you have it. Everybody's a little gay. So that's I think that's my take on it. That was a funny bit. You should watch Ron White. I think that was from They Call Me Tater Salad. I might be wrong. It might have been from You Can't Fix Stupid. I'm not totally sure, but it was Ron White. I know that for sure. You should watch it. All right. Are all of you obsessed with the History Channel on the weekend? No. Next question. Have you ever tasted your own semen, like just a little, just to see? No, never in like a experimental capacity. I've had some rather, forceful releases in my day, and sometimes they just get everywhere, and you think you got it all. Next thing you know, you could go do one of these, and it happens. It happens sometimes. I'm not saying we're doing a little taster's choice, but so you can't help it. It was already in your body anyway. What does it matter? Okay, I'm moving on. That's weird. Do you actually think people care if you buy tampons? No, I don't think people care. But for some reason, I'll be honest. I feel weird buying tampons, and it's like I know they don't think they're for me, So what's the big deal? I feel weird buying tampons. I feel weird buying condoms. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it. I have no idea why it is. I just know that sometimes it gets uncomfortable. I haven't bought condoms in quite a long time. I'm married, but Tampons now I've bought. I guess it's not that weird. It's not like I'm up there nervous having a panic attack, but, you walk up to the counter, you're like, oh, yeah, here are these. And that's the end of it. That's as nervous as I get. But it is a little twinge, a little feeling inside. Do you ever say, I love you to your best friend? Of course. It's your best friend. You can't say, I love you. I love you, brother. Fucking love you, bro. Say, I love you, man. Yeah, it's fine. It's totally cool. You don't always have to say it so forceful and aggro like that. But, yeah, we say it. Don't be shy, man. You never know when someone's not going to be here tomorrow, so you always tell them how you feel. Maybe if you feel like fuck you can maybe hold that one in. Just a suggestion. How often do you get accidental boners? Weekly, monthly? That's an interesting one. It happens. I wouldn't say weekly, but maybe bi-weekly. Sometimes it just happens. You're sitting down too long. Sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes you might not even be thinking about anything sexual, and it just happens. But that's part of being a man. It's the struggle. That's what it's like. That's my war. You don't know anything about that. Okay. Why are you so interested in how big your friends' dicks are? We're not. I can't speak on that one either. Next one. I don't care how big his dick is. Unless he was somebody that, I wouldn't want to, okay. So there's guys who want to know how big his girlfriend's ex's dick was. Those guys are called assholes, idiots. I don't want to know. I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know what you did. I don't want to know what it looked like. I don't want to know where he took you. I don't want to know. Because I don't want to be thinking about you and your ex. There's nothing for me to gain in that. There's nothing there but bad thoughts. And I don't want to do it. So I would suggest to any guys watching this or listening, don't ask those questions. You don't want to know how big your friends' dicks are. If you guys are, hooking up with the same girl, why does that matter? Why does it matter? Because guess what? You have a 50-50 shot. Maybe it's smaller than yours, and you might feel temporarily pretty good. But maybe it's bigger. So you could also lose that battle too. Or that gamble. It's not a battle, it's a gamble. What's up with the whole slapping one another's butts thing? Well, I think that was a bigger thing with older generations. Hey, good game, Johnny, good game. But we don't really do that too much unless we're trying to be, try to mess with somebody. Try to just, hey, wake up there, Charlie. But I'm not a big fan of that. I guess if it's just a good friend, something, like a buddy, you want to mess with them a little bit. It's like, like giving somebody a little punch in the arm. Same thing. It's not sexual. So let it go. Okay, next question. What is your opposition to nightstands or hanging things on walls for that matter? I think that's a young man's issue there. Because when I was younger, I lived in a house, didn't hang anything on the wall. I always had a nightstand, though. Always had a nightstand. But, yeah, we didn't hang anything on the wall. We don't care. I'll be honest, sometimes we just don't care. We want a house because it's a place to live, not because we're trying to, to show off, look at what I bought from Pier 1 Imports. We don't care. It just doesn't bother us. It doesn't bother men the way it apparently seems to bother women. I don't care. I need a couch, a TV. I'm good. That's it. Low maintenance. Okay, next question. Are blue balls a real thing? Yes. Yes, they are. And it's not fun. Bad times are the El Royale for every party involved. It happens sometimes. I think some guys really over-exaggerate it, but it's a thing. It definitely happens. And it's a rough night. It's not fun. All this stuff with the cold showers and stuff. Like, what are you doing? If say, like, for instance, say you were on a date. You were about to hook up. You were making out, doing your thing, maybe reaching around underneath the covers with each other. And she said, I really can't. We got to stop. And you say, okay. So then you say goodnight, kiss each other. She leaves. But now you're stuck there with, little tent. What are you going to do? I got to take a cold shower. I got to think about things. Hey, asshole, just go jerk off. It's not that hard. You're done. You've released. So I think blue balls I think it's over exaggerated. That's my opinion. Okay. Does your dick ever get in your way when you're walking around? Why, yes, it does. But seriously, yeah, sometimes it does. Sometimes it get tangled up. Yeah, if you wear looser underwear, that can definitely happen. You can sit down, maybe smush your nuts. It happens. That's part of having a dick. It's external. It's not inside us. It's all outside. So it's another cumbersome object we have to deal with as we're navigating through our daily life. Okay, next question. Do your balls ever stick to anything else on your body? Anything else? Like they stick to my leg? Like what else are going to stick to? My foot? I don't understand the question. Moving on. Are broken penises just a myth? No, they're not a myth, but they are rare, however. But it can happen, especially, some girls that like to do, positions on top, the cowgirl, reverse cowgirl. Just be careful leaning when you lean on that. That's when problems start to happen. So you need to be careful because it can happen. You can have little ruptures in there, little penile problems. It's a thing. Okay. And finally, what does having a boner feel like? How can I explain this? Did you ever see Star Wars? When they're in the Millennium Falcon and they go into height, when they first, initiate the hyperdrive, and you see it looks like the stars all move in lines. When you're a young man, and I'm kidding, that's ridiculous. What does it feel like? It feels like there's, a small log, in your pants, and it's a very sensitive to touch and smells. Not the second part, but I don't know how to describe what a boner feels like. Yeah, it feels like you have an engorged part of your body, and the other part, the emotional, mental part. What does being horny feel like? Everybody gets horny, so you guys should know what that feels like. You don't need me to tell you that. Okay, so that's all the questions I have for tonight. It's a little shorter episode, but like I said, I wanted to give you guys something. I didn't want to leave you empty-handed. I hope everybody's doing well. By the time you're hearing this, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I'm wishing everybody a happy and a safe Valentine's Day. I hope you're taking care of your partners. It's not happy wife, happy life. It's happy spouse, happy house. I'm going to try to bring that one. It's probably a little corny, but listen, if it's a relationship, it's a partnership. Everybody's happiness matters, not just one. Okay? So let's take care of each other. Let's love each other. Let's be the best partners we can be for one another. Okay, hopefully some of these questions I've answered for you ladies here tonight can make your relationships a little easier. Maybe have a little more insight into what your man is thinking. And men, straighten up, guys. All right, don't fuck around. I love you all. You guys know where to find us. If you're listening to this, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, anywhere you get your podcasts. And also, you can view us. Make sure you subscribe to your YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, at APodAmongstMen, or APodAmongstMen on Instagram and Twitter. And if you have any questions of your own, hit me up at APodAmongstMen@gmail.com. I would love to respond in a timely fashion. So until next week, peace.